Taking you to New South Wales now, and for more on the Green Wattle Creek fire burning southwest of Sydney, we're joined by Emilia Terzon, who is in Bargo. Emilia, what are conditions like where you are currently?
I'm at the southern end of the Green Wattle blaze that's now burnt through almost 200,000 hectares. And I'm actually in the locked-off, evacuated area. You may be able to see behind me that it's very smoky here. And while conditions were quite calm yesterday, which allowed firefighters to do a lot of containment work, and we saw lots of helicopters dropping water on the land around here to try and contain this fire, it's expected by lunchtime today, the conditions here are really going to deteriorate. And the temperature here, while feels quite cool for me right now, the temperatures here in Bargo could get up to around 40 or 41 degrees. There's catastrophic warnings for the conditions that could erupt here today. And as I mentioned, it's quite calm at the moment. Actually driving through this contained area this morning, it feels quite eerie here. There's no people around, for a couple of people who've decided that they will stay and defend their homes, but very, very quiet this morning. And speaking to locals in Bargo yesterday, it seems that everyone is basically waiting for things to kick off today and for the situation to get to that stage where they're not quite sure where the fire could head. I was just speaking to some police at a roadblock just down the road over there, who were saying that potentially the fire evacuation zones could move southerly down towards Bargo. So yes, as mentioned today, we're just expecting things to get quite worse.
Now, Bargo really has been the epicentre of so much of this fire activity, which has flared up over the last couple of days. What can you tell us about the extent of the damage so far?
Well, as we heard on Thursday, when conditions were quite catastrophic, there were dozens of homes lost up towards Buxton and around Bargo. Just this morning, driving through this zone, I have driven past quite a few destroyed homes. There's actually still smoke coming off some of those properties, and just behind me you will be able to see a little bit of smoke perhaps in the distance around one other property. So that's the sort of damage we're seeing here. But Bargo itself and Yandera, just to the south of that town, there are hundreds of homes there, so the efforts will very much be today on containing the fire away from those large townships and ensuring that potentially dozens more houses don't get lost.
Emilia, you mentioned before it felt quite eerie driving through the town. Can you get a sense of how the locals are coping, how many are staying and protecting their homes and how many have left?
Well, I've been speaking to locals here who are very acutely aware of the danger that they're facing today. Some locals yesterday, they were packing up the car and sending off the kids to get out, essentially, while potentially some people were staying and defending. People that I've been speaking to here are saying, we're just going to watch and see what happens this morning, but everyone's got their cars packed, everyone's got their Christmas presents packed in the car, so they're just waiting to see what happens. But despite those conditions, there is quite a beautiful sense of community atmosphere here in Bargo. There's a bunch of people who have set up a community centre with huge hampers packed, Christmas hampers packed for the volunteers, firefighters that have come here from all around the state and even interstate. And they're also packing up food and for the evacuees that have gone to evacuation centre to the north of Bargo. So people here, despite the fact that they're facing imminent danger and some have actually already lost their homes, are rallying around to help everyone else as well in this town.
Emilia Terzon, thank you. We will keep across with the developments where you are throughout the day, and we will of course continue to bring you updates on the fire situation throughout the morning. The New South Wales Rural Fire Service is due to provide an update shortly. We will of course, Joe, bring that to our viewers, to you, as soon as that happens.